How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad we can finally do this.
Yes. Thanks for coming and taking the time for doing this. Fans are really happy, I'm sure. And you can say hi, hello to them right now, I guess. They're very
Hello,
excited.
everyone. Hi. And thank you also for having me. Um, I actually go back a long, long time with the Times of India. So anything that I do with the organization is always very special.
Yeah, I remember 2014 and travel journey and everything. So why not take us through that entire experience for our audience?
Well, it's been a while now. It's been about, I think, almost 7 years from winning Miss India to getting the film, and my journey up until now. And it's been great. It's been a lot of learning because I started off very young. I was 18 when I entered the pageant, and well, I'm 26 today. So it's been a long journey, a lot of learning, a lot of experiences, which I'm very thankful for, because I think today, where I'm at, and how ready I feel to take on the journey that is to come ahead, is all thanks to every experience that I've had right from Miss India up until now. So yeah, it's been a learning experience all these years. I'm very grateful.
And then you also represented India at national pageant. So, uh, if you have some tips for our viewers over here who might be pursuing the pageant ahead.
I think the one thing that I'd very honestly like to tell every girl that is participating, in a pageant, or when you're representing internationally. In fact, I think a week ago, a couple of days ago, we had Miss India at Universe, and she performed beautifully, right? And I honestly thought that she was going to win. I'll be very honest. I thought she was deserving to win the crown, but again, it's unpredictable. So
Yeah.
don't feel disheartened if if you don't see the outcome that you've prepared for or you've wanted. But just give your best. Be the best version of yourself. Be the best representative that your country has ever sent, and do all that you can do. In terms of what you can do, but never really rely what you can do on what the result is going to be, because that's not in your control. So that is something that I've learned, and that's something that I think I apply to everything and anything in life, right? That I can't really control the outcome. I can do the best that I can do, but I have no control over the outcomes. So
So I was asking you that you started very early and won the pageant and crown and everything, but was Bollywood always the final destination for you?
oh, yes, much before the pageant. So I think I decided to be an actor when I got done with my 10th boards. I knew
Oh,
sometime before that, like I was certain around grade 7 that I wanted to be an actor, but I never really came out with it to my parents or my friends. It's only after I gave my board examinations, when you start enrolling yourself for SAT tuitions and all of that. I remember having this conversation. I told my father that I want to be an actor, and then I spoke with my mother. And the only thing that my mom told me at that point was, she's like, "See, if you want to be an actor, you've got to know that we're not from the industry. So you'd probably take a little longer than everybody else that knows the industry well, because we have to figure our way through this." Journey. And she's like, "We're with you, but only do it if you take it seriously as a profession, like you would do anything else. And know that it's important that you stay back in India, because we are going to put in all the efforts and the money or whatever it is that we would have for university into this for you. So we're taking this seriously as a profession, and we're only going to be okay with you doing it if you take it as seriously." And yeah, that was that. So I always knew I wanted to become an actor, and my journey since 15 up until now has been only that. It's only me, always having dreamt about being an actor and working towards it actively. So yeah.
and what better than debuting with Sanjay Leela Bhansali Productions? That's like a
Yes.
dream come. How did that happen? A lot
Yes.
of people here have seen Tuesdays and Fridays. They said they loved the movie and they loved you in it. So tell us, how did that happen?
that was, that was that moment that I had to pinch myself and be like, is this really happening? Because, like you said, Sanjay Leela Bhansali is a dream come true for any actress. I think he has always been the first dream director that I've had. I think I was most inspired by his films when I started out thinking of wanting to become an actor. So I remember. I mean, I'm briefly going to just tell you this. I remember going in for a meeting. It was one of those general meetings that a production house was having, and they were looking at new talent at that point, Bansali Film Productions, and I had a meeting, and I had a meeting with him, and it was not decided. It was one of those things where I had met with his CEO a couple of months ago, and I mean before this meeting, and I just get a call a night before, and they're like, "Oh, Sanjay sir wants to meet you." And I was like, "Okay, are you serious?" Because I'm not prepared. Like I think I need to be more prepared for this meeting. I can't have a bad impression. Like first impressions last. Da 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 da. I was also younger and I was scared, and just his name is so intimidating. So I couldn't really think of how it would be to be in a room with him, right? Anyhow, I land up for the meeting, and I had a meeting. I barely spoke. I'll be very honest. I could barely say like a line or two. Precisely answered what was asked, and I left the meeting. We were to send auditions after that, and Anmol was having the meeting the very same day, right after me, because we were with the same agency. So I sent in my auditions. So did he. And then I forgot about it. I was like, okay, fine. Had a meeting. I've sent my auditions. Probably nothing worked. It didn't even occur to me that there could be a call that would come back to me for that. Like it was just one of those things where it was like acha tha and achi meeting thi, and you just wrap it and you keep it aside. And I was in Goa for a wedding, and I get a call from my agency, my manager at the time, and she's like, so Jay, I want to tell you something. And I said, yeah, tell me. She's like, Sanjay Leela Bhansali Productions wants to sign Anmol and you as, as their fresh talents and want to launch you in a film. It's like, so I'm right in the middle of a shadi function, I'm like, what? No, this can't be true. It was probably one of those moments where you feel like your life is now going to change. It's just something that, and I think that's happened to me every time something's happened to me. It's happened like that. Even Miss India was like that. It was just one of those things where I don't know where it came from, but when it did, it came with a bang, and this is exactly what this was too. So
Oh, it was amazing. I've watched the movie personally, and you really do. I mean, I could just look through you how passionate you're about acting and Bollywood and everything. It just came across as a very positive vibe.
Thank you.
So, how was it working with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and how is he, on the sets whenever he comes, or everything, like how he treats the fresh talents?
So Sir wasn't really on set with us because he's the producer. He wasn't the director to this film, but we did spend a lot of time with him before we went to shoot, and that was great, because I know that he's a huge name, and he's got he's got a lot of goodwill and name that he's created for himself over the years. But definitely as a newcomer and as a debutant, I was scared initially. I didn't know what was to come. There were a lot of things that we'd heard, and there was a lot of anticipation. But I think when you actually walk into the room and get to spend time with somebody who is as experienced as he is, you only come out learning more. And I think for me also it was the same thing. There were certain things that he had told both of us before we left for shoot. We were shooting in London, so he had a couple of readings with us, and so certain very minute things as actors that when told to you, you don't really pay attention to, but when you get on to set, right, that's when it clicks you. You're like, okay, I mean, this makes sense here. And I think that happens only when you get to spend time with somebody who's as experienced. So I am extremely grateful that I got that time with him, and I got to see how he thinks, and what his ways are, because he's so particular and his eye to detail is perfect almost, right? So it's when you're working with a perfectionist, or if you're even hearing a perfectionist talk about what he thinks about cinema, or the way actors should be, or the way you should be in front of the camera, it's you're taking in details. You may not apply all of it because you're still new, but it still makes a lot of difference. And there's one thing that he told us, right? I still remember we were stepping out of the door, and he stopped us and he said, "So now you're not Jhataleka and Anmol, you're Sia and Varun. From this day on, for the next 40 days, you are Sia and Varun. You're not Anmol and Jhataleka. Forget everything and just become the character." And I think that was something that stayed with me, definitely.
So how close was Sia's character to you?
I think Sia was very close to Jhataleka emotionally, but nothing about Sia physically, or in the ways that she did things or liked things to be, is similar to me. So I think I connected with Sia on an emotional level, but otherwise nothing about Sia and Jhataleka is similar.
So good at hiding emotions.
Yes, I'm an actor.
True. Okay, somebody here put up a question, beautiful name, but what exactly does that mean?
I'm glad someone asked that. Firstly, my name is pronounced as Jhataleka. The H is silent. So for anyone who's wondering how to pronounce it, and it's a Sanskrit name that was derived from Shivji's Jatai. So that's the origin of the name, and it means brilliance and splendor, literally, and also fighter. So yeah.
Wow, like everything perfect fits in.
It's a heavy name to carry. I sometimes I go and ask my mom, what made you keep my name? She's like, I took up a challenge, and I think I did a good job at it. I was like, yeah, definitely.
I'm sure you must be having some cute nicknames also.
I think the shortest it gets is to J, and that's what most of the people call me now. Like, everyone refers to me as J. They just don't want to go beyond J. They're like, no, we're fine at just J. So yeah.
Okay. So, Jhataleka, you are amazing, beautiful, lovely skin. Is there any beauty secret that you like to share with our audience? And your
You've
hair,
got to
of course.
take the
God love
effort. This. Thank you. You've got to take the effort. Yes, of course, genes matter. What you get from your parents does matter. But once you get it, you've got to take care of it. I think, a lot of people, different things work for different people, but I feel it's a mix of things. It's the right nutrition. It's working out regularly. It's feeling good, which we tend to sort of just put out and not ever take into consideration. Stress levels are very, very apparent when it comes to skin and hair and good nails and all of that. And having a good skincare regime and being very routined with it. Hair care regimes, skincare regimes. It's a real thing. Nowadays you have. I'm sure you've seen it too, like through Instagram and all your social media handles, like your mediums. You always have people talking about these really extravagant skincare regimes. I think every regime is. Should be tailored to you as an individual and how your hair and skin reacts to things. But for me, this is what works. Yeah, it's about keeping the right nutrition. It's about having a skincare regime. It's about taking the effort, because I think I enjoy looking after my skin and hair, and that somewhere does speak for itself, because I'm scared, to be honest. I'm scared that whatever has been given to me through my genes, if I don't take care of it, it's just going to like go away with the years to come. And with the environment that we live in, it's so stressful, and and the quality in so many things is lacking today, and in comparison to how it was for our parents back in the day. So so you've got to take the effort. It's only effort.
So what do you use for your hair? Do you oil them? And if yes, then which oil do you use?
I oil them, and again, it through the seasons I try to change the oils that I'm using. So in the summers I stick to coconut oil. It's the best for your hair. I think it just does magic. Yeah. Sometimes if I'm trying to battle with certain issues, whether it's hair fall or thickening your hair, then just add kadi patta and methi seeds. Infuse your coconut oil with that, and that really helps. Onion juice is really good for your hair to thicken and not fall. So yeah, little home remedies that actually work.
Oh, great. So everything requires a routine. We need constant effort. And I'm sure workout also does. So how do you plan your workout? What do you do mostly? Yoga
So
or
I,
something?
since the last 1 year, since we got into lockdown in 2020, I joined the Tribe, which is like an online program where it's a community which works out together, and there are different classes, and yeah, that's what I do. It's basically a mix of strength training and HIIT and cardio, and so different days different things, and focusing on different parts of your body and different things that you need to work on, whether it's endurance or strength or functional, all of that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And the other thing that I don't call it exercise, I call it more of a meditation, but it works brilliantly even on your body, is walking at whatever pace. It doesn't matter, but if you can bring in some amount of walking in a day, like whether it's 40 minutes or 45 minutes, it's great. It just takes care of, and it really helps you calm down mentally. At least it has for me. It just helps you settle down.
So learn cooking or something during this lockdown?
Sorry.
Have you learned some cooking?
I love cooking. So that's one of the stress busters that I have in my life. I love cooking. I love baking cakes. So I think through lockdown last year, I was baking cakes for everybody's birthday. So I think I was the assigned baker, home baker for everybody around me. So yeah, and I love cooking as well. And I love eating. So I think that's why I can cook, because I just I just have a great relationship with the taste palette, so it just helps me.
Okay. So like a 5 things we will always find in your wardrobe.
Well, you'll always find a pair of shorts. You'll find a pair of jeans, of course. You will find a romper in this weather, and three done, right? Well,
Yes.
you'll obviously find some important innerwear, and you'll find maybe a long one of those dresses that sort of takes up to the silhouette of your body. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, I was thinking that has to be there. Wear them a lot. Okay, so 5 things you will always find in your bag when you're moving around.
My earphones or AirPods, because I love music and I need it. You'll find mascara in my bag. You'll find some beads. Like I chant, so there'll always be those beads. Then so I said mascara, earphones, beads,
Mm.
lip tint always, and sunscreen.
Oh, okay.
These are the
Great.
5 musts. I might forget everything else, and the phone is always in my hand, so it's.
Okay. Jhataleka, we would love to see more of you on screen. So is there any upcoming projects that you're working on?
Well, there is something that we're talking about at the moment, but it's not really sealed yet. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we locked, and you guys can watch me very, very soon.
Jhataleka, actually, can you repeat that?
Yes, I'm saying that we're in talks at the moment. Nothing is really sealed yet. So I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that something locks very soon, and that I can be back with something for everyone.
Would you also be interested in web series?
Yes, in fact, I think it's a great platform for actors like me who are new and ambitious to sort of also look out at newer, fresher content. So definitely a space that I would want to explore in the years to come.
Uh, are there? Can you name like 2, 3 movies, like the perfect ones, which you think that काश मैं होती उसमें if I would have been casted in that?
बहुत movies है, but if I was to pick two, I think one would definitely be it's one of those movies that I've watched many times and I love the character, and that's Zara from Veer Zara.
Okay.
And also it's one of my, he's so Sanjay Leela Bhansali, Yashraj, so these were directors that I've grown up watching. So unfortunately we don't have Yashji with us anymore, but it was definitely a dream to be his heroine. So yes, Veer Zara is one of those films, and the other film would be Karina's character in Chameli.
In Chameli, oh, I thought it would be Juggling Men. Mostly people relate
No,
Karina.
I really want to, do something which is, I really love that film because I feel it was ahead of its time when it came, and it was just beautifully played by her, in my opinion. So I loved it.
It was a very different subject, like touched on very
Yes,
different. And
yeah.
I don't know how the audience received it, but it's like one of those things, no, that's always there. You can go back and watch it again and again.
Exactly. In fact, there are so many films like that. Even with Sanjay Sir, like everybody does recognize him for Devdas and for Ram Leela and all the big films that he's made. But look at his first film, Khamoshi. That was a
Oh,
beautiful film.
that's
Again,
iconic.
one of the films that I would love to really, play the character of Manisha Koirala. But it was again ahead of its time. It was such a
Yes,
beautiful film.
very beautiful. Yes. So, okay, this is a fun question. If a very big director comes to you with a script and he's all full on charge to sign you in and everything, but you don't like the story, what will you do?
Wow. I I don't know, quite honestly. Like it's one of those things where I'd probably, it'll be like a battle between my heart and mind, like, where I'm not going to know how to. And also, when a big director comes to you, you're just, the fact that a big director is coming to you is a big thing. And then you, as an act, when you step into the shoes of an actor, then you are looking at the story and you're looking at all of those things. But again, one thing that I would definitely like to put in here, which I've experienced and learned, is that sometimes when you hear the story and you listen to a narration or you read the script, it's not as great as how the film lands up looking, because at the end of the day, the way the director treats the content and the way he makes it makes a huge difference. So
Yeah.
so maybe if I if I have trust in the director, then I will go ahead with it, because it's about how he portrays my character and me in the film, which matters. And therefore the relationship between a director and an actor is crucial to any film. And then of course the relationship between the director and his story, because then that's crucial. So there are these links, which make a film, and which bring us out there the way it does. And we don't tend to talk about the technical aspects of filmmaking, but any actor looks the way that he or she does. Yes, of course skill is one, but like they look the way they look because of a lot of people on set. And there's of course the relationship they share with their director, but then there's the cinematographer that makes you look the way you look, and then there's the editor the entire film is like, it's like you literally have your life, your heart put into the hands of the editor, because it's, and I'm so thankful that we have such great technicians, and without them we wouldn't be the way we are on screen. And that's something I've learned, through my first film. So
Great. So, which are the 2 dream co-stars you want to work with? Male.
I am so greedy. I want to work with everybody. It's just one
No,
of
I'm not going to take that answer. I will say
no,
no.
but I think I would definitely want to do a film with Ranbir Kapoor, if I can, and Aditya Roy Kapoor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just find like with Aditya Roy, both like with Ranbir, I think I want to definitely do like a love story. I just feel he's a great actor in the romantic space. And with Aditya, I think he's got this sense of rawness, which is beautiful on screen. So definitely would want to work with him as well.
And you have been Priyanka Chopra fan.
Oh yes.
Tell us something about this passion that you have for her, for following her.
Oh my God, that lady! She's a hero. I mean, I've never seen Priyanka in her as like this demure actress. She is power in my eyes. She's someone that comes in, walks into a room with force, and I think she's the only person up until this day that has been able to, I remember I'd gone for GQ Awards and she walked in and I had goosebumps all over, because that lady, just the way she, commands herself in the most beautiful way possible. I think the 2 people that have really inspired me from our industry has been Rekha and then Priyanka. And I think what I see as common in them is that they're women that need no one. Like they're just so, and their journeys have been so vibrant and so, beautiful and self-accomplished that it just motivates anyone that watches. So for me, they've literally like motivated me. Priyanka has been motivation for me, because it was looking at her that I felt that so what that I don't belong to the film industry, I can do it. Who said I can't do it? So it was she's been that for me, which is why I share that. I've never really, I wish I get a chance to speak to her someday. I've never really gotten the chance to interact with her. But I just feel so happy when I, look at her accomplish more and more, and and also see the diversity of accomplishments, because it's not just as an actor, it's also, as a speaker, as as a producer, as different things, right? Different roles. Now she has a restaurant that's opened up in New York, I think, from what I last read. But I want to do that. I want to do everything in my life. I don't want to just do one thing and settle down. I want to keep doing things, and I want to keep growing and learning different things about myself, because I feel there's so much potential inside. It's just about wanting to grow and learn and become better with every passing day. So,
yeah. All the very best to you, Jhataleka. That's been wonderful talking to you. Your fans are just like after take my name, but you can't take everyone. Maybe you can just blow a kiss to them.
Thank you so much for all the love and support. It really means a lot.
Thank you so much for doing the conversation. It was really wonderful.
It was for me too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.